religious guidance. If you are sleeping, oorun bí Yorùbá ṣe máa ń pè, you are manifesting Ifa. If you are hungry and you do get hungry, you are manifesting what Ifa is. Whatever you do, the way you live your life, the food is manifestation of Ifa. For example, Ifa's information are coded in Odu. There is an Odu from Ogbedi that speaks about Oni Okpa Bobo Labodi.
Welcome to Culture Africa TV.
Adifa Fodi Odiki Shokunrun. So Ifa speaks about wall. Ifa speaks about everything in life. In the Odu Ogunda Tasia, Ifa ni apajuba pataira. Adifa fún kọ̀lélógún èèyàn tó ń bórun ṣọ̀tá. Ǹjẹ́ orun ni ó ṣẹ̀tẹ̀ wọn? Which says that nobody has power over orun, which is sleep. Tell me any creation, any human being that doesn't sleep. So whether as a Christian or as a Muslim, once you exercise sleep, orun, you are manifesting Ifa, you are living Ifa. Iná kọ̀ràn bẹ́jẹ́, Ifa ní àbàtà ńlá abojú gbẹrẹgẹdẹ, adífáfẹ́ bí. Ifa speaks about what the Yoruba call ebi. Ebi is what many people in other languages will call hungry. Ebi ń pa ẹranko, ebi ń pa èèyàn. So many other creatures live to experience ebi as an imale. Ifa speaks about ebi. Ọ̀bẹ méjì tó ní kí ebi fi rúbọ, tó mú kan fún ẹ̀ òun ló fi ń kọ wọn lábẹ́. And this is the reason why people who does not eat in good time will experience what is called hungry. So if Ifa speaks about ebi, hunger, if Ifa speaks about the concept of sleep, orun, if Ifa speaks about manifestation of so many other things, we are all living Ifa in one way or the other. Even the way we wash our face, Ifa speaks about. Ifa tí a bá jí àbọ́jú àbọ́mú, tí a bá bọ́jú bọ́mú tán, góńgó ìsàlẹ̀ àgbọ̀n là ń parí ẹ̀ sí. Do you know of anybody that wash their face and wash it up? Tó bá jí, you bọ́jú, you bọ́mú, and you finish at the cheek of your ajigbon. These are concepts that Ifa explain. There is nothing that had been, that it is, and that will be that Ifa does not speak about. Even what modern day science does not explain, Ifa already speaks about it. I can tell you, my grand uncle shared a narrative with me about.
Sorry, sir, before you continue, sir.
Okay.
Sorry, apologies, sir.
That's all right.
Sir, you're chewing gum, please.
I'm not chewing gum. No, I'm not chewing gum.
Okay. All right, you can continue from your uncle. 3, 2, 1, action.
Okay, now my uncle taught me about what is called afomani yeye. For those of us who understand afomani yeye, think about birds that fly without wings. Modern day science has just gotten to that, making wingless plane. It has been made, but they are yet to commercialize it big time. But look at when Ifa has spoken about that many years back. So if I tell you concepts like cloning, concepts like security camera, private camera, they are what Ifa has spoken about. They are not new. So either as a Christian or as a Muslim, Hindu, whatever religion you choose to practice, Ifa is the foundation of life. It's information that speaks about existence, past, present, and future. So this is my own angle of looking at Ifa as completely different from Esi. You know, in the ways of our foreparents, they don't segregate knowledge and discipline. They know knowledge is a whole. In the Western world, they have chemistry, they have biology, they have all these studies departmentalized. But very soon they realize the relationship between them. They started having disciplines like biochemistry, industrial chemistry. In Ifa way, we understand knowledge as a whole. That's why a knowledgeable Awu is a multi-practitioner. It serves as an herbalist. It treats you as a nurse. It can guide you as a counselor. It can work as a social worker. Ifa is all embracing. There is no aspect of life that Ifa does not speak about, from birth to exit. So when you practice Ifa, it's there, whether you like it or not. Whether you acknowledge that as a way of life that you have chosen as your religion, is a different thing. Christians, Muslims, Hindus, they practice and they live to manifest so many aspects of what Ifa is. And Ifa is spirituality, far different from religion. that is a dogma where you have to believe what your sex says that you have to do. Ifa is universality of knowledge beyond our existence.
Thank you so much, sir. So that's that your question. I'll take me to the next question I'm about. If a person wants to make an IFA consultation, how will the person know what to take home? Do you get my point, sir?
Please, can you please repeat that?
For instance, now, if I want to go and make a consultation on Babalawo from Ifa priest, Ifa priest is different from Onishegun.
Yes, I'm getting you. Go ahead.
It is Ifa that will tell us the solution of things I will do. You understand? Then, for instance, now, how would I know that the Babalawo, the Ifa priest, is telling me the truth?
Okay, I think I have an idea of your question. First and foremost, I prefer to be seen and be called an awo and not an Ifa priest. So an awo is an awo, and an awo can be male and or female. We have female diviners, we have male diviner. The work of an awo goes beyond what is in between our legs. If you have taken time to study and learn and become ordained, you can practice. Now, having said that, if you want to seek Ifa guidance, you will go to the home or speak to those who has the knowledge, and they will tell you what to do. Now, your question is, how do you know whether who you have chosen as an awo to divine for you is knowledgeable, genuine, or otherwise? It's very simple. I'm just going to give a suggestion. First and foremost, before you go to anybody for divination, you have to choose who your advisor is. The same thing you do if you want to go to a doctor or go to a lawyer. There are quacks in every industry, in all aspects of professionalism. There are quacks, there are those who does not know and claim to know. But what I would just say is that if you go to the home of somebody who claims to be an awo, look at the environment. Look at the tools or the equipment that he or she is going to use for Dafa. Is he throwing Okpele, the divination chain, or is he using Ikin, the special sacred palm seed? These are basically what an Ifa awo use. An Ifa awo does not use mat that is spread. An Ifa awo does not use coin or use prison board. An Ifa awo does not use camphor or whatever, or a candle. So these are things you have to wash. And also, it is always better to make sure you are led, you are guided to an awo. In that way, it's like what Yoruba will say, abere to lo wundi. If you are guided to a professional as an awo, then you can also ask who is also your diviner. Who are you? What is your name? What council of awo or which council of awo do you belong to? All these are rights that people have to know before you choose who is going to do Dafa for you. Then when you observe, you have to look at the environment and who you are dealing with. What they say to you. Normally when an awo speak to you, an awo will give you one of his, even if they do it at distance, Dafa, because that is quite possible. You speak to Ifa or the tools of Ifa, the awo will throw it or cast the Ikin and give you information. There's no way, if the awo knows what he's doing and use the proper tools, there's no way he will give you 2 or 3 or 4 essays that it will not speak to what is happening or what had already happened or what is yet to happen in your life. Ifa speaks through narratives that may sound like story. I prefer to call them narratives, and these narratives are alive. They speak to your past, present, and future. Ifa works on the principle of whatever is happening now had occurred before. And your life or whatever is happening to me or anyone is very similar to what has occurred to somebody in the past. So when you go to an awo Ifa and he or she gives you this tool to use and you speak to them and you are able to connect with your energy, when he does what he knows how to do based on the training, the sign that we call Odu that comes out is a perfect reflection of who you are, what you are, your issues, your challenges, your prospects, and also provide solutions to it. I can tell you it works, and it speaks to facts about your life, and it also provides solution. So Ifa is a tool. I call it an ancient technology that you can liken to a compass that can tell you where you are and give you an idea of where you want to get to, if it's even achievable or not. But you have to live your life according to the prescribed measures and the narratives given to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that insight. Thank you so much. So, sir, I want to learn from you, sir. Who is the first person that first invents technology? What is Ifa say about it?
Wow, that's an interesting one. You know, the word technology is a very broad word to use for me to claim or lay claim that I can tell you who invent technology. But I can tell you quite well that there's no modern day technological tool or equipment that IFA does not speak to or acknowledge. Even the modern day science, modern day computer science is an offshoot of what IFA is. I told you I read engineering by my conventional studies to master's level, and I can attest to the fact that IFA is an ancient and a deeper science. So I can tell you, frankly speaking, there is no modern day technology that IFA does not speak to. So I will tell you the first technology, the first technician or technology, if you want to say that, is IFA. And the creator, the Adeda Asheda, is the most superb, sophisticated tool or equipment you can ever think of. So IFA is the father of all technology.
Thank you so much, sir. So now, for instance, now if someone like us that has not learned to practice, if I want to go into IFA, what are the processes?
Well, if you want to learn, can you please repeat that question?
I said for someone like us that want to study IFA, so what can we do?
Well, like I told you, what you can do is very broad. But let me first start from my own point of view. I am a co-founder of Ketu's IFA Institute. At Ketu's IFA Institute, we teach IFA in 6 different languages. We have students in Russia, we have students in Canada, we have students in Venezuela speaking Spanish, we have students in Brazil, Portuguese, we have English students in English speaking countries, of course our mother tongue, and also in Russian language. So I will advise you, you can learn from us, Ketu's IFA Institute, where we have owls in Ekposhoremo and our other elders all over the world helping us and packaging, teaching. You know, gone are the days when you sit at the feet of your ancestors to learn. But nowadays, you can be thousands of miles away and still learning from the feet of your ancestors. So, Ketu's IFA Institute is the way to go if you want to learn about IFA. And I will also tell you there are so many other knowledgeable all around. But make sure you do your findings and know who you are learning from so that you will know what exactly to expect. You can link us on Facebook, on Instagram, and you can ask for our email for Ketu's IFA Institute.
Thank you so much, sir. So I want to ask very deep questions. What does IFA tell us? Death, or what does IFA tell us on life after death?
Oh, interesting. Like I said earlier, IFA speaks about all the aspects of life. Now, first and foremost, your question is about what does IFA say about life after death. Now, first and foremost, I will tell you as an Awo, the word death literally does not exist in our own dictionary. Awo ki ku, awo man shosuni. IFA sees life as a cycle that is continuous. In the Odu Ogbe Barada, IFA ni okuku láyé à ń sunkún, abímọ tuntun à ń yọ̀. Ta ló mọ bí òkú tó kú ń lọ, èèyàn tó bá mọ bí ọmọ tuntun ti wá kó wá wí. So IFA tells us, if I have to say that in English, IFA says when people transit, I don't want to say the word death, we grieve, we are unhappy. But when we have a newborn, we are all joyous and celebrating. And the SFA put a question, who knows where the transited person is going? And who can tell us where the newborn baby has come from? So that tells us from birth to transition is a continuous cycle. IFA in another Odu speaks about what is called Iku. Iku is an energy. Iku is an Imale. The same way we all know Ogun, Oshun, Oya as Imale, so also is Iku. Iku is a special gift that the Creator gave to the whole universe. IFA in the Odu Oyekupa Koshe, IFA sees Iku as a special gift that is given to all of us, so as to change the body in which our soul is housed. It is not only human being that dies. That's why it makes me to smile when some people says "Iku ni ere ẹ̀ṣẹ̀." So everything that comes to life will exit this life, and that is the beginning of another life. So to answer your question, what you have, the phrase you have used, what does it first say about life after death? First, life after life is what I will call it, because when my soul exits this body of mine that I'm here now, the soul lives on, and the soul will take residence in another body. But based on so many SFA, the next body that your soul will take residence in is a function of how well you spent this your life. The same way our soul left Orun, passed through your body, and inhabit this body, your own soul inhabits your own body. So also you have the same Emi that inhabit the body of Eku, Eja, and so many other creations. So also when the time for the soul to exit this body happens, the soul will exit and the soul continue to live on. Ifa tells us the relationship between Emi and Ara, that is the life force, the breath of life in our body and the body. And they agree that at some point the Emi will part with the body. And when the Emi part with the body, Emi will take body in another container. And this is a function of what we do, how we spend our life here. All of us have chosen one Ipin or the other when coming here, and that is what we live to